Man, so the Detroit Lions allowed the fewest receptions in the league from running backs. All right, interesting stat I seen in the article, but they did allow the 10th worst in yards per reception. I think it was 7.9 when running backs did connect, but they also didn't allow running back to score a receiving touchdown either. So let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. According to the article in the analytics, Will Harris and Curry Joseph had a lot to do with that. And I'm pretty sure whatever they were scheming up had a lot to do with it. Zone allows, running backs to, not actually have a matchup. And sometimes they can have success in zone. Sometimes have a lot of success in man. Depends on, kind of what you're doing. But in that zone, that's why those little option routes is important, or or the little drags and all that type of stuff, because it's nobody's assignment, because you passing along. So, but like I said, I'm not real surprised by that. It's just to the point where, they had to shore up the run defense a little bit. And, it was just so bad, and, going down the field, really people probably wasn't even trying to key in on throwing to the running backs. They was keying in on those cornerbacks. And like I said, when they went through a spell where they didn't have a lot of pass rush. So, when you don't have no push in the front, the back gonna suffer. You know what I'm saying? So, as they got more guys back pass rushing wise, they started to thrive. Obviously, I think that kind of coincided with Aubrey Pleasant getting fired, but they got help. At one point, it was just Aiden Hutchinson down there by himself and a whole bunch of other guys that wouldn't have played if guys was healthy. So you eventually got Romeo back. You eventually got Kaminsky back. You eventually got Josh Pascal back. So you got some, Julian Okoye came back. So you got some help. And when they started to get pushed, their defense started to thrive. And just to think about them defensively, they just have to get more. They just had to get more athletic up front. I mean, everywhere. And you seen it earlier in the season versus Philadelphia, where Tracy Walker had to spend a lot of time in the box to slow down the faster guys that Philadelphia had to bring, like Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders and guys like that. They needed him in the box because he was the true, they didn't have enough athletes up front to deal with it. And that was an issue. They just didn't have enough speed. They didn't have enough speed up front. And then, you add Aiden Hutchinson, you find James Houston, you get Pascal back, get a little bit younger. And that's going to have to continue to be the thing. They're going to have to continue to find more speed up front. And that's Jalen Carter. If it's, whoever is bringing these dudes in, they got to get more athletic in that front, where they don't have to commit a guy like Walker, or they don't have to use a nickel back so much in the box so much. They can just go out and, they can come and go as they please. They can, drop in coverage, or they can blitz, give you more option. But they got to get more athletic in the inside linebacker position. They got to get more athletic continue to get more athletic up front. And that's just what it is. But, most people, when you got time in the pocket, you can get big plays. How Seattle got big plays versus the Lions, and other teams got big plays. Of course, I'm not gonna worry about dumping off to the back when I know I'm gonna have time to throw, and ain't no pass rush coming that I can get down the field. You gotta understand. People say, well, Aiden Hutchinson, he ain't doing nothing. It's one person. Literally everybody came into the season already injured. Pascal, Anazorki, or they got injured. Kaminsky, Charles Harris, or they got injured. So you can't expect a rookie to play inside or play outside and manufacture a pass rush on his own without having nobody else helping him up front. And when he did get help from guys like Aleem McNeil in the Giants game, or he did get help with Julian Okoye in the Chicago game, when guys like Kaminsky, Okoye, Romeo Okoye, no guys came back, they started to really eat up front. James Houston emerged and made everybody better. You need running mates up front. It's not a one-man job to anchor a front defensive line or front seven. It's not like he Ben Wallace in the middle of the Pistons off defense. So, but yeah, that's going, they got to continue to get more athletic up front. and they continue to thrive, especially with Aaron Glenn coming back as the defensive coordinator. They'll continue to thrive in that category, especially the more athletic they get up front, especially if they find a home for inside linebacker. Somebody like Tremaine Edmonds, Levante David. Edmonds would be more of a long-term solution. And it's a lot of the times you don't see those guys in their 20s like Edmonds, you don't see them hit the open market. So if he don't get tagged, I mean, he going to have a lot of suitors. Because you really don't see those guys hit the market, but that young. But he can help in that department as well too. So a lot of it had to do with the scheme, and the players, doing their job and all that type of stuff. So I remember the Rams played the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They was playing the greatest show on turf. They were dealing with Marshall Faulk was, when he came out the backfield, they would hit him. That was their game plan. That was how they really, when they minimized Marshall in the passing game, that allowed the Patriots to be closer to the, play a close game, and then beat the greatest show on turf. They didn't let Marshall become a factor in the passing game, so Marshall would come out the backfield, they'd hit him. So they disrupt his route, they would just hit him, and that's part of Bill Belichick's genius. They wasn't prepared for that. So it's a number of ways you can defend them. You can do man-to-man. Man, the best way to defend them is not give the quarterback time or the route time to develop. That's the best way you can defend that. But anytime you can hit a running back who take a hits for a living, you hit him. You know what I'm saying? But that's how they slowed him down and, man-to-man, zone. You don't really see a lot of running backs kind of getting vertical no more. You used to see a lot of them guys on the wheel routes, a lot of them guys getting down the field one-on-ones. So I don't really see that too much. You see it all the time. Marshall Faulk was probably the platinum standard for receiving back. Well, Roger Craig can do it too. A few guys who could do it, but yeah, man, that's an interesting stat. So something positive for the defense to build in coming off the offseason. So, man, it is what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, the subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. My link tree is the first link in the description. You click the link tree, it take you options to go to any of those platforms. Don't forget, you can check out my main channel right here on YouTube, Goodfella TV, for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. It's Goodfella TV for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. But other than that, man, kind of a radical stat for the Lions that we really, probably nobody really thought to think of. So let me know what you girls and guys think. Peace.